That's proof of concept. Like, you're really just
authentic and just being me.
There's a lot of people out there that are in just enough pain where they're willing to just settle for what they have because they're not in enough pain to change.
Right.
And the fear of change outweighs the pain of their daily existence.
You know, the one gift I have, with all that being said, what you just said there, is I have the ability to see the end before the beginning even begins. And what that means is I know that to get to the very end, I can see it right now. So before I went to Buds and I was losing all this fucking weight and shit, I saw myself walking across the fucking stage at 191 fucking pounds. That's where I had to get to get into the door. I saw myself 6 months, a year later, whatever's gonna take me to do it. I saw myself walking across that stage, getting that fucking certificate of graduation from Buds. And I was able to be there at 300 fucking pounds. And that feeling that I was nowhere near that fucking feeling, I was able to put myself there 1,000,000 times every fucking day. And that feeling of like, my God, that is gonna feel fucking amazing. That's what made me suffer. That's what allowed the pain to be real and say, this is worth it. I wanna feel for this fucking next 18 months. It took me 18 fucking months to finally become a Navy SEAL, to finally, just get through Buds. 18 months, it's 6 months. It took me 18. That's what woke me up every fucking morning was, I'm gonna put myself through this much fucking pain and suffering for a few seconds. That's all it is. A few seconds of joy. And it's so fucking worth it, man. That's what people don't get. So I'm able to put myself at the finish line, even though I have no finish line, but at the finish line of an event before I even start the motherfucker to say, how are you gonna feel at the end of this?
Well, visualization is one of the challenges. And part of that is not just visualizing success or living in the reality of achieving what you're setting out to achieve, but also visualizing how you're going to navigate all the obstacles that are going to get thrown in your path.
Right. Visualizing is my biggest tool of life. That's why I've been able to put myself in cold water, put myself in a 100-mile race millions of times before I've done it. And I'm able to go through the race and see how I'm going to feel at mile 50, almost to the exact feeling.
Right. So when it comes up, it's no surprise.
It's no surprise. I've already done this a million times, and that's the one thing I practice and practice and practice and practice overnight. But also, the most important thing is I practice that feeling of accomplishment that I'm going to have when it's all said and done with.
Being focused on one thing at a time.
I have to be very present in everything I do. Like right now, I'm with Rich Roll. I'm not thinking about shit, but Rich Roll. And what the fuck's coming out of your mouth right now? That's what gives me a huge advantage in life, especially today, in this day and age, with so much shit going so fast and everybody wants to keep everything going, everything up and everything. I want to be the greatest multitasker of all time. Not me. If I put my 100% into what's in front of me, I will destroy it. If I'm out here just multitasking and shit, I'm gonna half-ass everything I do. So it is the most important thing in the world to me, is being focused at the task at hand.
And it's getting harder and harder to do that because there are so many distractions, and it's so easy to distract yourself.
Yes, it is.
You don't ever have to be bored again with these things in our pockets.
No, but the one thing I'm most scared of in the world is losing touch with the best thing in the world is your mind. Your mindset, how you can picture yourself, how you can focus, how you can drive, how you can put yourself in so many situations to get out of it. Because those headphones we listen to, those phones that we Google to find information, there's so many situations in my life where that shit's not gonna help me. It's not gonna help me.
And you're able to just turn that off.
So fast, because I know what's helped me. None of that stuff's ever helped me. None of that stuff's ever helped me. What has helped me has been me alone, getting my shit together and being accountable for who I'm not and who I want to be. That's the only thing that's helped me. I was very fortunate to go through 3 times, and not in a sadistic way, in a life-changing, growing way. I found out so much about myself through going through that training 3 times, and I went through the hardest part of the training 3 times. After the first phase is the crucible, man. And that's where I was at for 3 times. I spent most of my time in buds in first phase.
In the hell week.
In the hell weeks. And being in that grind. And in that grind, I got time to examine myself. I call it the live autopsy. And also examine other people. Because I was really good about putting people way above me. Because I wasn't shit. I was never nobody. So for me to be on the same stage as these great wannabe Navy SEALs and buzz trainers, like, my God, you guys are amazing. I actually got here with you all. Thank you so much for allowing me into play. But as I was there for so long, I got a really good chance to sit back, because now the cold water is just water now. It's no longer cold anymore. Your mind starts to change. They say get in the water, most people think about it. For you, it became my life. So I started learning that if you start to change your mindset versus it being like, oh my God, this sucks, I became a professional bud student. So I wasn't going to leave until I graduated. So I started realizing, if this is my home, this is what I am, I had to always reset the bar. I had to reset my new norm. There always had to be a new norm. So one thing we don't do is we don't have a new norm. My new norm is you get up every fucking morning at 4 o'clock and you suffer. This is your new norm. That became my new fucking life. Most people want to get out of it. I said, no, motherfucker, this is your new life. This is who you are. Your new norm is you wake up and you suffer. And I started realizing, if that's my mentality, this shit ain't hard anymore. Right. Your fucking new norm is you wake up, you get in the fucking cold water, you get a beer till the shit's fucking done. Whenever they say you're out, you get out. So my new norm, so I do that now today. My new norm now is, if I'm doing a 200-mile run, your new norm now, man, is you fucking are doing 200 fucking miles.
The Roger that mentality.
I really started to enjoy the fact of seeing what the human mind was capable of, and seeing that what is so horrendous, there's so much joy and glory in this shit. And when you see other alpha males, like, SBG in the book, he was one of the hardest guys in the SEAL teams. He's looking at you like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Right.
Well,
they start testing you. Like, they're like, let's play this out, right? And there's that story where he makes you swim out to the boat
on my own Wednesday night, and that fucked me up, because my knee was, it was broken. It was fucked up bad, and it's Wednesday of Hell Week, and all the boat crews are past the surf zone, and I just got a Toradol shot in my knee, because let's go, man, we're going, and it's fucking it's real late at night, and it was fucking raining, and the class is past the surf zone, and I'm still not a big fan of the fucking water. The ocean is very unforgiving. And I had this big life jacket on, and SBG's like, hey, follow me, man. Should we run a mile down to where the boat crews are at, out past the surf zone? I'm thinking, hey, we're gonna wait for him to come on in. He goes, hey man, get a Kim light. He broke a Kim light, put on my hat, and said, go out and fucking get him. And I was on my own. There was no swim buddy, so I can buzz you for swim buddy.
Yeah.
And when he said that to me, I said, in my mind, I said, this motherfucker is joking. He's gotta be joking, man. It's Wednesday.
He must have been thinking, like, I'm gonna break this guy. Like, this is gonna be the moment.
I think that's what it was, but we're pretty tight now. And he said, no, that wasn't it at all. He said, you're one of the only people in my tenure as a BUDS instructor that I've ever done that with. He said, I knew a person like you would have found that as a challenge. And I had to dig deep, because I didn't want to look at him and say, hey man, I'm not doing that shit. Even though I think I could have, because there was no swim buddy. Yeah. You don't go out there Wednesday night after like 80 hours of Hell Week, and you're like seeing stars and shit that like I'm during the daytime. You're seeing boats and I'm out there. You're hallucinating. You're all over the place. He sent me out there. I was like, okay, this is my time to show one of the baddest motherfuckers in the world that it's on. So I got my shit, man. I went out there and did it, and I detail it well in the book, but it was a moment that I started realizing I'm starting to separate myself now. At 43, you should grow up.
Everybody else.
When you grow up weak and you start to master your mind, because my whole thing is whenever I'm weak at something, whenever I'm scared of something, I master it. I was a weak-minded person, so I mastered my mind. And in mastering my mind, I mastered the human mind. And I realized why I no longer judge people, why I no longer put people on a pedestal, because we're all fucked up in our own way. We all have demons. Some people hide them better than other people. So I know we all have them. But me knowing that, I know that most alpha males are very fragile. Very fragile. They never want to see another person harder than them, especially in that kind of realm.
The ego attachment.
The ego,
very strong.
Ego will fuck you up every time. Ego is serious. So if I can hurt your ego, I got you. So by me having such a fragile ego growing up, all this was my advantage. I was doing a live autopsy on how fucked up I was. I was like, hey, this fucks me up. I bet it fucks other people up too. So I started using all these different tools and tactics to get in instructors' heads. And the taking souls, that's where it happened, man. We're Wednesday, freezing fucking cold. Everybody's jackhammering. Everybody wants to, everybody's just wanting to get through it now.
Jackhammering's when you just can't stop shivering.
You can't stop shivering. You're sitting there just uncontrollably jackhammering. And the instructors take great pride in watching you suffer. They do. We, in a sick way, it's kind of funny. You were there once as a student. Now you're an instructor. But I knew, how would I be thinking if I was an instructor? I would love seeing this sadistic shit go on. But what wouldn't I like to see? I would hate to see some guys just looking like this is just another fucking day on the fucking beach and go fuck yourself. I would hate to see that.
Yeah.
So
because they all want to think like when they did it, they were harder.
They were harder. Yeah. Everybody's hard. So I said, you know what, man? It's time. I can't fight you. You guys can fuck me up all day long. That's your job, and I love your job. I love what you guys are doing. You guys are making us better. But now, I want to take the tactical advantage, and I'm going to start fucking with you. So I got my boat crew, Bill Brown. I had Chris Kyle on my boat crew, right. American Sniper. I had a couple of hardcore motherfuckers. And everybody right now is kind of like in their own world. Let's just get through this, man. I can't wait till Friday so we can graduate, how we can get going. I said, let's go ahead and have some fun. I said, we're gonna start fucking with these guys. So the evolution here was we just got through with med check. We're stripped down to nothing, and they're checking us out, making sure we're good. Checking for pneumonia, checking for fucked up knees. My knees all jacked up, but they're giving me shots and shit. And I was like the boat crew leader of boat crew 2. Mm-hmm. So I'm in the front of the boat, and I tell our guys, this is what we're gonna do. The boat's like on our heads. That's all it was. We're supposed to lift the boats up above our head. That's all you gotta do. But when you're this weak, you're this fragile, you're this tired, the boat's heavy. So there's a thing you can do when you do boat presses. You can get the boat and like just toss it up and catch it. And that shows like you're jacked up. So everybody's holding the boat and they're shaking and the boat's starting to come down their head and all the boat crews are all lined up and they're fucked up. And I'm looking at that and I turn around my boat crew and say, hey guys, it's time to fucking take some souls. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I said, we're gonna get you. I go, you see all these fucking instructors out here, all in their fucking jackets and drinking coffee and laughing and smiling and shit. I want their fucking faces to go straight up fucking numb. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna start boat pressing this motherfucker. Just take my lead, trust me, you'll get energy from it. We start throwing this boat up in the fucking air, catching it, throwing it up and catching it, and we start yelling, can't hurt fucking boat crew 2. We're yelling our fucking ass off, and we doing it. And they make us stop, like what the fuck, like stop. I look at these instructors, and their faces literally look like someone just took their soul out. Cause I know where their minds were. Like they were thinking about themselves. Like, what the fuck just happened, man? I know me on Wednesday, I couldn't have done that. How are they doing it? So the rest of the time, going through Hell Week, it was like we owned it. We owned it. Right. Boat Crew 2, we won every single race. We were just dominating, and it was a strong boat crew, and that's where Taking Souls is. There's a few Taking Souls stories, but that's one of them.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest fear, man. The rest of my